Welcome back, Madcap Toys fans. You're back at the Christmas cottage. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and things are going well for you. But, you know, I gotta do it before we begin if you haven't already. What are you doing? Subscribe to the Madcap Toys family. You know why? If you haven't subscribed, we are nearing, in just a few hundred followers, 5,000 subscribers. So if you've already done it, go ahead and tell someone you know to go ahead and subscribe. If you have their phone, you're in a holiday party or something, say, hey, just a sec. If you got nothing to watch or nothing to do, here's somebody for you, Madcap Toys. And get them subscribed, because I'll tell you what, we are growing strong and we've got a lot of viewers that are watching us currently from all over the world. So number 1 is the United States. Number 2 is the UK and the Philippines. So go ahead and get subscribed, and also, you know, tap that bell for all notifications, because each and every time we upload content, of course, you're going to be the first to know in comments. You know, we love them, so just keep them coming. As you know, we're in the collector room today, basically what we call our studio, because I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't want to jar the computer too much, but if you can see out that window, we're in our upstairs studio. We got hit pretty hard last night. I was outside yesterday all day, getting ahead of things. I was in the toy barn. I was digging out everything that I thought possibly could be due for Monday and Tuesday before more sales hit. Doing that, heating the barn, getting all that going and getting out. And I shoveled close to at least 3 to 4 inches of snow in the driveway, in the walk, so the Amazon drivers can come in, because I bought Christmas and it's going to be here any day for my grandkids and daughter-in-laws. Hi, if you're watching. Let's see, what else did I do? I did the walk, I did the driveway, and I did a little bit of the road just from our property to the end of our property, because we do have elderly here, as well as people with children, in case there was an ambulance needed to go through, what have you. At least my area was going to be pretty much clear on our road, because we have a private road, so we don't have a county road, and I wanted to make sure that everything was good to go from there. So did that, came back in. I didn't know I had my tops of my thighs were beet red. I must have wore thinner leggings, not fleece ones, and they didn't hurt, they didn't turn blue, they started to itch, and I want to be careful because, you know, the temperatures here in the Midwest, I don't know where you are, but are really going to be, have been and going to be really frigid for the next 24 to 48 hours. Right now, it is 8 degrees outside, and then tonight is supposed to be negative 21. So I did my due diligence getting back to it to get a lot of the stuff ready that was supposed to be ready for Monday done, like back on Friday and Saturday, to kind of get that pushed. So anything that's due Tuesday, we are supposed to on Monday get up to at least 30 degrees. So that will give me a chance to trot through whatever snowed on the path that I made to get the Tuesday stuff ready and out. So that's why we're in here, because of the crazy weather. I've been told that here in the Midwest, after we get in the 30s, we're supposed to get in the 40s and maybe even 50s for a few days for the rest of the week before we get maybe another storm front. So you got to do what you got to do, resellers, right? That's right. We got to do what we got to do. So just to give you a recap before we talk about the what solds. And first of all, I want to thank some of my viewers. Thank you so much, especially Pascal Allen. Thank you so much for responding on what you would like us to do, show, etc. I've had some people reach out to me and saying, I like your eBay news. I like for you to do tutorials on not just eBay, but Poshmark, Mercari, even whatnot. That kind of helps us out when we're doing our journey or answering questions when it comes to shipping and all the other subjects, right, when it pertains to reselling. And Pascal had said, hey, continue to do the what solds. I do like to see what has sold. So definitely, we're not going to stop that. But just a random of things, because we want to make sure that we are bringing to you guys the content that you want to see. You know, as we go and look at random YouTube resellers across the board, some we're very, very engaged in. It's what we like to see, what's going on, what's happening, what they're purchasing, what they're selling, etc. And then there's some that it's just, you know, and you know, if you've watched on YouTube where you see things, but you're not gaining anything for yourself to know about when it comes to reselling. or it's just flatlined, right? We don't want to get to be that kind of channel. We want to have a channel that is good for you, that you guys, if you missed us, if you were on vacay or something has happened and you just haven't been on your mobile phone or computer or TV, missing out, that you can even do some binge watching. And I've been noticing that on our channel, that there are some binge watchers on some of our older ones. I actually yesterday, for the fun of it, while Daren was doing something, while I was working, had one of our old ones on from a couple years ago around this time, just to kind of relent and just go, yeah, that's funny, or ooh, I remember selling that, etc. So people are doing it. They're also doing it a lot on our shorts, YouTube shorts. So I can admit, in the last few weeks or even a couple months, when in the day job got in front of things, and when you didn't see me at all hardly, or the things have slowed down, that people were looking at a lot of our older YouTube shorts, which was wonderful. So, some that were up like 2 to 3 years ago, and I loved it. I was like, wow, I can't believe it, that I'm getting nearly 100 people in the last 48 hours on a specific YouTube short. So YouTube shorts have been helping us out quite a bit too. So it slowed down quite a bit. So I'm trying to gain that back as best as I can, especially through the holidays. Because as you resellers know, and if you're a YouTube content creator, it's going to get to the point where after the school plays settle down a little bit, if they can get out, or, and all these activities, and even some of the Christmas dinners or parties follow through, even at work, that people are going to be snuggled in their blankets. They're going to be having their mobile devices, and they're going to be doing some binge watching, especially if they resell. And then there's many of our crowd out there that don't resell at all. They just enjoy watching it. So you just want to make sure they have plenty of content to watch, new content. And if they feel like watching the old content, that's wonderful too. So that's what I've been trying to do this weekend. Also, I'm going to keep a secret for a while, and then once we know more about it, we will share it with you guys, our Madcap Toys family. But we've got a reselling meeting coming up this Wednesday with an important figure in the reselling community. And we're going to be talking about maybe changing up how we sell and what we do this coming year. Not totally, okay. Still going to be on eBay, as always. Still going to be on Poshmark. Still going to be on Mercari. But there may be something else into play that we do too. Again, I will share more with you about all of that when we know more on that and get some more details. But right now, I'm not going to say out something that I don't know enough information about. Let's put it that way. So we're going to talk about Madcap Toys today, because the last video we did Madcap Toys Plus, and just kind of give you some sales figures. It's like slowed to a stop, of course, but I've noticed that we are selling items that are more everyday items that you would sell on a non-holiday than we are a holiday wise. And that's okay, because I stopped my online buying when it comes to Christmas over a week ago. So I still have to buy for my grandson, which will be simple because he's like 2 years old. So it'll be a cool toy, but it'll be simple. May buy off Madcap Toys, probably will. And I think just a couple things for Dan, but I'm pretty well shaped up with everybody else in our family and the rest of my grandchildren. So we've slowed down. So just imagine people are slowing down, because with the post office, as you all know, or UPS or FedEx, with the weather being like it is, especially where we live, you get nervous because you may have ordered something last week and it may still be getting almost close up to, December 25 of it arriving. I ordered our 2 Amazon orders probably nearly 2 weeks ago, separate, about 2 days apart, for my daughter-in-laws, my sons, and my grandkids. And it's supposed to arrive tomorrow, which will be today for you guys, the 15th. But that took nearly 2 weeks. So just imagine if you were to order something and the post office, even on eBay, if the post office wasn't catching up or doing, it may either arrive on Christmas Eve or perhaps, the day after Christmas. So people are thinking that concept. So I'm not too worried about that, but we're still making sales steadily, but just not the big, huge toy items that we had been in the last couple weeks, but we're still going steady. So just looking at the sales chart on Madcap Toys currently, from the last 31 days on the main store, we're down 17.3%. That's just our regular eBay. But you know what? As I mentioned in the last video, that's okay because of the simple fact Daren has been selling, and me too, because we share the same thing. Coins like you wouldn't believe, and the high dollar coins. When the silver has been going up, gold prices have been going up. The last 2 months, we have been selling some major coinage there. So that 17.3% doesn't bother us because of that fact, because there was pretty high dollar coins happening in November. And over the last 7 days, Daren has been selling several American Silver Eagles because of the simple fact silver had went up, and don't quote me on this, but over $60 an ounce up and down. So people had been noticing some of the things that we had available there, some of the listings of those coins, and taking advantage of it, especially taking advantage of the 20% off coupon code that Daren has currently. So understandable, but it's more looking at a lot of that, at least in the last couple of days, 48 hours, you know, most of the things that we have been selling, especially on the main site, because that's what we're talking about currently. We have been selling things like, and you'll hear the what solds on that in the upcoming videos, just to give you a rough idea that are pending that I still have to pack. Yeah, we have one new in-box wrestler, but we have from a repeat buyer, I just packed a Silver Eagle to ship out tomorrow for him, but he bought another four, which was, you know, several $100 altogether. And then, of course, a baseball card, and then a winter broom, right? A winter snow broom for cars and all that. Because, you know, they're probably dealing the same thing that we are in the Midwest. So it's just more common playthings. Even though there, like I said, there is a toy here and there, and it could be for collectibles, or maybe they already got their gift card, etc. So that part of that has slowed down a little bit, but the sales haven't slowed. It's just like the types of sales, right? And then usually after Christmas, and I've mentioned this before, when people have gift cards or things like that from, you know, different families, etc., or some people have been this year, you know, doing the gift card thing, they go in, they jump on either Christmas night or the day after Christmas and start buying the collectibles. So I don't get scared around this time of year right up to Christmas, because I know the slowdown. I know the reason why of the holiday thing. So we expect that. And it always, you know, pans out the way it should with us, always. So we're not worried about that. And then sales conversion rate on the main site is only down 0.1% and at 1.4. And that's really, really good. When you have, and if you don't have a store like this, when you have over 12,000 listings on one store, which Daren does, you're not going to usually have a high conversion rate. It's going to be up. So 1.4 to me is excellent because of all the items. And you have to make sure they're all ended in sale similar, that they stay fresh, you know, pictures fresh, the whole 9 yards, to make sure if you needed to increase that, to do that. But for the most part, it's pretty healthy. So things are looking good there. And then, of course, all across the board, too, Poshmark has been steadily doing sales. I've had a couple payouts since then. I just wait till they're like about $100 or whatever, and then buy and go from there. Macari has been excellent. I think I have to tell Daren about a sale later on a Sunday that he got, I think, while he was taking a shower this morning, and just different things. So, like I said, it's been steady, but not the Christmas steady. But we know that we're getting so much closer to Christmas. As of today, it's 10 days away. So I can see why of the slowdown and expect that. But I do see the pickup coming back. So let's get to it. Now, I haven't seen much eBay news happening, so I don't know about anything coming up or what has happened in the eBay world. I know I need to place another box order from Supply Hut, because I'm starting to get down on my norms, my 6x6x6s and my 10x8x6s, because I know that once Christmas does get here, that after Christmas rush is happening, and going to be doing other things, so I may need those boxes. And also, too, if you haven't already, if you use Poshmark, I'm starting to get low on my Ground Advantage boxes already, and I think I'm down to 2 envelopes. I'm giving them a call tomorrow when customer service is there, and I'm going to make sure that I buckle up and order up, because I know in the next couple months I'm going to need them pretty strong, because I'll be working my Poshmark pretty good. So I'm going to do that because I got low really quick. Didn't really see. So, you know, as resellers, make sure your inventory, you're on top of things, that you have those boxes, because you need those boxes. And I need a case of tape. I didn't realize, because Kathy is at fault at this, that I was down to nearly no tape. I think I have maybe 1 roll of tape and a half. I know, it's stupid, right? But I thought I had a whole case in another area of our home, and found out I didn't. So that's another thing that I'm going to do. And if I don't do it this month, which I need to, in January when we get our eBay coupons, I'm ordering a ton of that and getting that restocked up, because I used to have where I had at least several cases of that in stock, and time slipped, time got away. You always have in your brain, I'll just, you know, order that later. I'm good for now. Not a great way to think about that. Always make sure that your boxes are up to date, as well as your count for your tape, because if you're selling, you're going to need it, definitely, for sure. So let's get to it. We're going to go down to showing 13 items that have sold lately on Madcap Toys. I'm going to tell you what, again, thank you, Daren, for keeping up with a lot of this since I was gone for about a month and a half and just focused on the day job and other things. But now, like I said, I am truly back. I'm into selling more and reselling, and I am so thankful. I missed you guys so much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really did. I couldn't wait to get back on screen, to kind of be here. I love it. I love what I do. I love to be around you guys, and I love to talk about reselling and just helping. If I've been a blessing as far as giving great advice this year, shout me out. I would love to hear it, and exactly what it was I said that helped, because that would mean a lot to me, and I would be very excited, because I want to make sure you guys are getting the content you deserve. I don't want to be that channel that is ridiculously boring. So I'm getting there. Here we go. So we're going to start out with this one. So I've got it to a certain spot, and we're going to stick with it on Madcap Toys. So the very first one that we sold was from the corpse. I love the corpse that are in box, right? And when you can find them in good prices and good shape like this, you want to keep them, because, you know, a lot of people say, well, those aren't G.I. Joe. Yeah, they're not G.I. Joe, but the knockoffs are just as cool for people that collect them than anything. And of course, you know, the male collectors that do the corpse, and female collectors, they're more interested in the earlier ones, like late 80s and 90s. If they can get in a box, it's worth money. But if not, they like the army builders and things. They go along with their G.I. Joe collection, etc. But these 2-pack figures were really cool. So if you're one that likes to keep a mint in box, they're really good as well. So the Corpse Battle Pack 2-figure collection, Rucker and Shrapnel with Vehicle, brand new package, was found on Army Shelf 4. And this one sold for $15.78 plus shipping to boot. So very, very nice there. That had went out already. And then next up, we went to a yard sale in the summer and bought some electronics. And we thought we'd try it out, right? Because it was in a lot of stuff. And this was one of the electronics that we tested and make sure everything was pretty cool, as best as what we thought. And this was one of them. 2006, I think this is TI 30XS Multi-View Texas Instruments Scientific Calculator. And this, of course, was found in the shed. We're getting better on our SKUs, by the way. We're working on it. We are working on it. And this one sold, and it was a good deal. They got a 20% off coupon. Sold for $5.98 plus ship. Something that we just wanted to move. Like I said, we got it in a lot of stuff, so we probably didn't pay, you know, nickels and dimes for it, pretty much. So we wanted to move it right along, because we've got things happening, and wanted to move the stuff as quickly as possible. And next up, this was an offer that someone asked to have, and I went with it because I'm really wanting to push our media that we got from yard sales and thrift stores at literally nothing, to try to move it along for space. 1977 A&M Recordings, Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good, again found in the shed. And this cassette tape sold for $4.48 plus ship. And then many of the ones that we've been getting from people calling us in thrift stores and yard sales, a lot of times you're not going to get discs that have either any case at all, or you're going to receive them in plastic cases. Of course, those that we see, especially children's videos that have scratches and stuff, thank goodness we purchased one of those cleaners for DVDs and CDs, and it has been a huge blessing. So we didn't buy the real expensive ones, but the ones that you can kind of get online, and my goodness, it has helped us a ton. And so I can remember that this DVD did need a little bit of TLC, but they loved it just the same. 2011, Franklin, Best of Franklin. Remember Franklin in the 90s? My youngest son loved Franklin. That was one of his favorite shows. DVD. Found, of course, in the shed, and this one sold for $4.78 plus ship. A lot of our DVDs are average $6.99 and up, but again, we did make some deals, and if it looked a little rough, we did lower the price on a few things like that. And then we sold some plush. So this was out in the toy barn, something that we got and received at a yard sale for, like I said, maybe 50 cents or so or less. This is the FAO Schwartz Glow Brights stuffed animal with sound, and it did have sound. I even showed it. New with tags. Found in the shed. It was actually DCM one, which stands for DC Marvel. And this lovely stuffed animal sold for $12.98 plus ship. Very, very good. And then next up, of course, coming from a pallet at that moment in the beginning of December, people were still decorating for Christmas and the holidays. So we have sold quite a bit of these this year. I would say around maybe 6 or 7 strands of this at least. So the piles went down really quickly. From Wonder Shop, which you know where that comes from, right? If you don't, it's Target. 10-inch tinsel Christmas garland. Lovely red and silver. I have red and white on my tree, and so gorgeous, so fluffy, so elegant. I have it cascading down the tree. If you haven't watched that video, that YouTube short of me decorating the tree, you need to. And this was also found on DCM Shelf 1. And they bought 2 strands, of course, right? And it sold for $15.90 plus ship. So also, they took advantage of the 20% off coupon, and I would too, especially this time of year, because the more you can do that, the more stuff you can decorate with, right? And on to the next. We had bought over the summer some Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise and got these at a real good deal. Of course, why not, right? And here's another shout out that this is another one of these that was found on the back wall. Remember, guys, for those of you that watch religiously, the back wall is what we've been working on to, refresh. And since Sell Similar, refresh, get new picks, new titles, all of that. So I think we're at, 33 or 34 back wall sales since we started this. Five Nights at Freddy's glows in the dark, radioactive Foxy, like this. This is so cute. And again, found in the back wall. We are out of stock on radioactive Foxy as we speak. And he sold for $14.99 plus ship. Again, they used the 20% off coupon. So that is awesome. And then next up, another toy. So this is pretty good. Transformers Rise of the Beast Battle Changer Rhinox figure. This one was found on our Transformers shelf on shelf 2. And this one sold for $7.99 plus ship. I think that was another offer received at about 20% off. And not only did we sell toys, we also sold trading cards. So this in particular, I think Daren found these at a local flea market not too far from us. Found a bunch of booster packs at one time. And I think he had a couple theme decks, but they were long sold. But we still have a few around. From the series, Sun and Moon is a series. So Pokemon trading card games, Sun and Moon, Unified Minds, Group 3. And we still have 4 of these in that series available. positive feedback already. This one sold for $6.38 plus ship. So it looks like they may have got like 10 to 15% off that one. And then we practically sold out of this. I think I don't have any more of the adventure bag sets were sold out. And I think I only have one of the 5-pack Ridley Jones and Friends left as far as the figures are concerned. Netflix Ridley Jones collectible figure set 5-pack of Ridley Jones and Friends. Again, one of those are still available, the 5-pack. And this one sold for $15.99 plus ship. And this is a repeat buyer on this one. They also, probably the daughter or granddaughter definitely wanted you know, a whole thing of that particular brand. But she also bought the Just Play Netflix Ridley Jones Adventure bag set. And this one sold for $17.59 plus ship. So very, very good. Got those, I believe, in a pallet buy. And so I made my money back and then some on that. And next up, this sold and I love it, but I did a boo-boo. You know when you do a boo-boo and it's cold outside and you're thinking you only have one of those items and find out later on you have two? This is what happened. So let me tell you about the sale first, and then I'm going to explain myself. Disney Junior Puppy Dog Pals, Stow and Go play set with 2 exclusive figures, brand new. It was found on Kathy's shelf for, yes, I have a shelf. And took advantage of the 20% off coupon, and it sold for $25.98 plus ship. So we found this at a retail arbitrage at nearly 50 off. Let me talk about it. So I thought, and you know, when you think and you have thousands of items, but you think, oh, I think I only have one of those, and then the next couple of days later you get a sale of the same item after you deliberately, you know, took this out and packed it and shipped, you know, getting ready for shipping. You're like, no, I just sold that. I know I only have like one. So you cancel the order and say, I apologize, and end with it and think, okay. Well, after I did that, 2 days later, I go out to the toy barn, and lo and behold, when looking for something else, I found indeed another one. I was like, really, Kathy? You should have looked first before. But it was cold outside. Not it was just cold, because I can deal with cold. But it was so snowy outside at the time. We were tromping through snow that I was like, well, you know, we're busy, all of that. So I'm sure I only have one. I don't want to hang on and then it sell again and not have it. So, which it did. So I canceled it and found out that I had a second one. That happens, right? Mistakes can be made, but lesson learned, I put it back on. But things like that do happen once in a while. But always know your inventory as best as you can, right, guys? Never let it get away with you, for sure. And lastly, at least for this video, we have from, ooh, this is nice. I liked this one. NECA or NECA, whatever you guys want to call it. Aliens, Chrysalis Alien 9-inch action figure, brand new, sealed. Loved it. Good condition. Came from Monster Shelf 4. Basically, that's our Monster Shelf consists of mostly things like Jurassic World, Jurassic Park, also Godzilla, King Kong, stuff like that. And Aliens. And this one sold really good at $57 plus shipping to boot. So 13 items that we have sold on Madcap Toys. So that is what we have right now. What I'll be doing in the next little bit, besides editing this video, is I will be going to pack a few items. I have 3. One, Daren got me that snow broom I'm going to have to Frankenbox. And then I have a Lincoln album I've got to pack and a baseball card I need to pack. But I have all of my weekend items already packed, stacked, and ready to go in your Monday AM. You guys have already went through that, ate breakfast, all of that good stuff, and getting that out, hopefully, if we can get out physically tomorrow, because again, we are supposed to get negative, it's 8 degrees above 0 right now, but we're supposed to get down to the -2 or 3 degrees tonight. So anything that was on the driveway and with that incline, as you all have seen, I don't know if we'll be able to get out or not. So hopefully eBay, you've got an inclement weather thing happening where I can kind of delay that, but we'll see. We'll have to keep you guys updated, and if we get out to your today, my tomorrow. So that's all I have for now, guys. I'm going to get to it and get things just kind of ready for the AM and get ready for the day, get some YouTube shorts on as well. But you guys have been fantastic, super fantastic. And until next time, bye-bye.